They think coaching is, I got to have all of these years of experience, all of these years of skills. I got to be the very best at what I do in order to help somebody, and that's just a lie. And that's one of the biggest lies we've been told in terms of this coaching business and this coaching industry, is thinking that you have to have all of these years of experience and I have to have all of these accolades and I got to be the best. And if I'm not amongst the best, I can't be a coach. And that's one of the most disempowering things that you can do, and that's what stops a lot of people. You know, one of the biggest things that I've learned over the last half decade of really doing this, like being serious and putting like pedal to the metal and making it happen, is folks fail before they even start. And the reason that they fail before even getting in the game is because of their limiting beliefs of what they thought was correct or how they thought they should help people, right? And was. So that stops them from going to the next level. That stops them from even getting started. And most importantly, that stops them from changing the lives that they need to change because of some false notion or some lie they've been told. Oh, you have to be certified. That's a lie. There's no state regulation to be a coach. This is not like therapy. It's not like a therapist where you have to go to some state board. I don't give a damn if it's ICF. I don't care who it is. Right? You know, I get a lot of folks who want to work with me through the John Maxwell team. You know, shout out to John Maxwell. But there's no certification programs that you have to do in order to be a coach. Right? Everybody just certifies you on their process, but there's no state regulation for it. We don't get started because we believe lies like, you know, you gotta be the best at what you do to be a coach. That's another lie. That's a lie because you don't. You just have to be a step ahead of somebody else. See, people lie to you to try to discourage you and tell you that, oh, well, if you don't have all of these years of experience or if you're not the best at what you do, I literally wouldn't be here giving this live. I wouldn't be coaching hundreds of people each and every month. I wouldn't have impacted over 1.2 million people over the last year if I believed that, oh, because I'm not as big as E.T. the hip hop preacher, I can't do this. Because I'm not as powerful of a speaker as you know, Tony Robbins. Or because I'm not a Lisa Nichols, I'm not a Ayanna Vaizant, because I'm not all of these other people and they're so fancy and they're bigger than me and they've been in the game longer than me and they got more people attracted to them and they talk about messages similar to mine, I can't help anybody. And that's the problem that we face. You know, go ahead. Like, think about it like this. If you are, let's just give an example, and let's just say you've been through depression in your life. Well, there's a lot of people who they're going through depression currently, right? And it's limiting them from living the type of life that they want to live. And because it's limiting them, that is, and you've been through it, that doesn't mean you're 100% healed from it. But, however, you've learned how to still live a positive life, a healthy life, even managing the depression. Well, you've learned some strategies and some skills that allowed you to still be a productive person in society and still chase after your dream and what you want to do. So why not take the top lessons that you've learned and help somebody else with that? You feel what I'm saying? Why not do that? Because you're not the best in the world at depression? You feel what I'm saying? I feel you in the chat if you understand what I'm saying. So this is key. Same thing with me. When I started off working with entrepreneurs, I wasn't making thousands of dollars. I wasn't getting all of these clients. I wasn't impacting all these people around the world. But if I said, well, I guess I can't help people make $1 million, I shouldn't help coaches. I shouldn't help speakers. I shouldn't help entrepreneurs. I shouldn't do it because I haven't made $1 million. That would be a false belief, and there would be a lot of people that would have been disempowered. There would be a lot of people that still would not have started a coaching businesses because of that false belief. And what I believe is a lot of us have this belief that's been stopping us from helping other people because you got all of these lies in your head that's telling you that you can't do this, and it's really simple from the standpoint of just give and serve. All right, so let's kind of kick it off like this. So let everybody know who your audience is and what are you looking to help them with, so we can have some context, because we got a bunch of different coaches that are going to be watching this and that's currently watching it now, and so kind of give them some context on who you want to help, and then you know, I'll answer any questions you got.
All right. So my name is Sheila. I am a life coach, and my targeted artist, not artist, I'm sorry, I'm also a radio announcer, so artist that just falls out from time to time. But my target to assist is with, in the African American community, women and young girls. Specifically targeting on the family. Also with the mindset. Our mindset is everything. If you're trying to do something like you were talking about, you know, and your mindset isn't where it needs to be, you know, it's going to take you forever to get to where you got to go unless you change your mind first. So that's who my targeted the people that I target is African American community, young women and young girls. And women, you know, especially the women. Why? Because, well, first and foremost, I'm a woman, and I know and understand of the struggles that we as women we go through.
Yep.
A lot of us, especially in our community, you know, we as mothers, we was just winging it. You know, and now, you know, our children are probably, you know, grown now, or they're, you know, raising children. And so what worked for us is not working for this.
Right, right.
So now we have to learn to change our conversation. We have to learn different ways. We have to learn, you know, listen, just because mama didn't need it like that for us.
Right. There you go. So it's a different way now. So let's kind of jump into what you need, right? So we know how you change their lives, and you know how you want to change the lives of women. So so what do you feel like right now is like one of the biggest challenges you face with in terms of like trying to build this or start this coaching business? What's your challenge?
My challenge is everything has to be perfect. I am kind of a perfectionist, and there are times where even I get stuck in my head, and so I just feel like, okay, if every I is dotted and every T is crossed, nope, I gotta wait till everything is finished. And sometimes, you know, I need people, you know, like Terrell, you know, to go ahead and give me that little gentle push, be like, nope, you got it, go ahead and go. For me, also, like you were saying earlier in your life, where, you know, you feel like you gotta have all of these credentials, you know, because for me, because I already have a brand, and now I'm doing something different, I want to make sure that, you know, everything, again, is perfect. Do I know nothing in the world is perfect yet? Right. You know, I call it Google land.
Got you.
You know,
Yep. So I know exactly where you're going, right? So by the way, and this is what we were talking about, we were talking about similar earlier, right? Is really feeling like, you know, you have the credibility to do this, right? If you feel like, if you're questioning yourself, are you know, am I ready to do this, or can I really do it? Just put me in the chat, and let me share this with you, is that, you know, you don't have to have all the experience in the world to really help people, right? What it really comes down to is people just want to know, can you get them the result? A lot of times we kind of overthink this credibility thing, like in terms of like, yo, I gotta have these accolades and I gotta have all of this education. How many people I speak to on a monthly basis that like they done been through 35 certification programs, and they think that they need to have all of these different things to really get somebody the result. And at the end of the day, we don't really care if you're certified, to be real. What people really care about is, can you help me get the result? Period. Like that's what it comes down to. So now the question is, okay, well, since we know that that's what we want to focus on, then what's the biggest way to get somebody interested or even open to the idea of me potentially being their coach, right? How do I know what that actually looks like if somebody's open? Well, that's where it comes to putting out content, right? So you put out content talking about what you know, right? Like confidence is very subjective. Confidence is not overall. If you say, Coach T, I want you to train everybody how to become a world-class surfer, I would not know I don't know where to start. You feel what I'm saying? I couldn't tell you the first thing about surfing, right? But you tell me, or you say, Coach T, talk about coaching, talk about speaking, talk about marketing, talk about business, talk about sales, right? Now you speak in my language, right? I could talk to those things, right? So the biggest takeaway is just start putting out content that's relevant to your audience and talk about things that you know. And if you do get a question, let's say you go live with somebody or somebody put it in your comments or whatever, and you don't know, don't be afraid to tell people you don't know the answer to that. You're not trying to act like we're in the best day and age right now where you don't have to front and try to be something that you're not. You feel what I'm saying? You don't have to. You can just literally be yourself and say, you know what? I actually haven't experienced that, or you know what? I'm not really too sure about that, and try to point them in the right direction. People will respect you more if you didn't know something, you told them and tried to point them in the right direction, than you trying to front like something that you're not.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So just get started. Is that helpful?
Yeah. Absolutely, because actually right before you came on live, someone had actually reached out to me, and you know, I haven't really interacted with them very long, but because of my authenticity and my genuineness, when I do speak with them, you know, they were asking me, hey, do you do anything? Are you a therapist or, you know, different things like that? I was kind of taken aback, to be totally honest, you know, because it's always just a brief interaction, nothing we've ever, you know, haven't even talked no more, not even 5 minutes. And so for them to, to come and to ask me something like that, I was like, okay, you know. So to me, I'm authentic and I'm genuine in my interactions with anybody. So I just have to be able to show that in my different posts and, you know, different things like I have to get out of my head.
And that's the main thing, right? And it's like, because, you know, and I know because we was having a conversation before too, and you have it, and I think a majority of us, like, we have, the reason we want to jump into this and do coaching is because 9 times out of 10, we've already been given free advice already. We probably been doing, you know how many people I speak to, like, yo, I've been helping people for free for years, giving advice to people coming to me and calling my phone and and I love serving and I love helping. However, I think I should start charging for this. I think I could do this as a coach, right? So people already coming to us for content and what we know, but as soon as we turn the camera on, we start to overthink it. We got to realize that it ain't no different than you sitting right in front of somebody one-on-one and giving them advice, or you being on the phone and giving somebody advice, or you being on a Zoom call and giving somebody advice. It's the same exact thing, right? Same exact thing. We all, like, when you speak into a demographic of people, you're speaking to people that everybody pretty much have the same needs. So everybody's going to be feeling you. You know what I mean? So just, you know, just take it one day at a time, one step at a time. Don't overthink it. Just put out content. You ain't got to spend a week trying to think about what your next video is going to be. You know, and then the more that you do it, the more you can speak in what we call doing extemporaneous speaking. So I did a training. So each and every week I work with a private group of coaches. And on our last call, we talked about extemporaneous speaking. And that basically means that you have the skill and the ability to speak off the cuff, right? You don't have to have PowerPoint notes, and right as I'm training on this, like, I'm not looking at nothing. I don't have no teleprompter behind me, right? I'm just talking. And the reason why I'm able to talk fluently about this is because I teach and I train a lot. I put out a lot of videos. I'm helping people a lot. I'm on calls every day. I'm training people every week. Right, so I'm doing so much of it, it flows naturally, and that's the best way you're gonna be able to become an extemporaneous speaker on your topic, is just to do it more often. But if you don't do it, then you're not gonna get comfortable enough to really talk about it fluently. Does that make sense?
Okay, I get you, yeah.
There you go, love it. What else you got? Yeah. What other questions you got?
You actually hit all of them. You definitely a speaker.
There you go.
You're definitely a speaker, because the true speaker will hit all of your topics before you even. But I would love to interview you, because I would
I love it. You know, if you're looking to be any type of coach, I don't care if it's a life coach or, you know, you help people with trauma or health or fitness or whatever the case is, realize this, that all coaching is somebody who has experience, and you're helping somebody else who is either a client or the definition of who, you know, who is looking to learn, or a learner. Your experience is you're giving and transferring that to them. You're helping them get the experience that you have, helping them get the knowledge that you have. If it's life coaching, you're helping people in different areas of their life. It can be business, health, wealth, right? So whatever it is and whatever you want to focus on, just give them some good advice and tips. And a good coach really can not just tell you what to do or give you principles, but they can also make it practical so you can actually do the exercises to actually master the skill. That's where real good coaches come in at. Because I can talk to you all day and you can still not know what to do. You can understand it, but you can still not know what the actual steps I need to take in order to actually get the result that you've got. Right? So it's about really trying to give people, like, inching them closer and closer so they understand it, but also they can actually wake up tomorrow and start taking the steps to get to their goals.